Why do some people become wealthy, while others with higher incomes stay broke? The answer is not intelligence, it's behavior. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel explains that financial success is not about how much you know, it's about how you behave with money. This book is built on the core premise that financial success depends more on how you behave than how smart you are. Rather than focusing on mathematical formulas, it approaches finance through human emotions, decisions, and psychological perspectives, offering valuable lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. Lesson 1: Wealth is what you don't see. Real wealth is not what you show. It's the money you don't spend. People often spend money to look rich, instead of becoming rich. People often spend money on luxury items because they want to gain respect and admiration from others. However, Morgan Housel calls this the car paradox. When you see someone driving a beautiful car, you don't think, that person is so cool. Instead, you imagine, if I had that car, I would look cool. In other words, people don't use your wealth to admire you, they use it as a benchmark for their own desire to be admired. Kindness and humility bring far more genuine respect than luxury possessions ever can. Lesson 2: Behavior greater than intelligence. You don't need to be a genius to build wealth. You need patience, discipline, and consistency. Financial success is more about behavior than IQ. A genius with strong technical knowledge can face financial disaster if they cannot control their emotions. In contrast, an ordinary person with no formal education can build great wealth through the right behavioral skills such as patience and discipline. The book illustrates the difference between IQ and behavior through two contrasting figures. Ronald Reed, a janitor and gas station attendant, Reed lived a modest life for 25 years, saved consistently, and allowed his investments to grow over decades, eventually accumulating more than $8 million. His success came not from intelligence, but from patience and discipline. Richard Fusconi, a Harvard graduate, senior executive, and one of the brightest minds in finance. Fusconi went bankrupt due to excessive debt and greed. Conclusion: it is nearly impossible for a janitor to outperform the world's best-trained surgeon or engineer in their field. However, in investing, this is possible because financial success is driven more by behavior than by intelligence. Lesson 3: The power of compounding. Small amounts of money invested over time can grow into something huge. Time is the most powerful factor in building wealth. The book compares the growth of small amounts of money over time to a geological phenomenon. Ice ages are not caused by extremely cold winters, but by mildly cool summers that leave behind a thin layer of snow that doesn't melt. The small amount of snow that remains from one year allows more snow to accumulate the next, reflecting sunlight and intensifying the cooling effect, eventually covering the earth with layers of ice over centuries. Financial investments work the same way. You don't need extraordinary power or massive capital to achieve remarkable results. You simply need to let your gains accumulate without melting away. In other words, leave your money invested and allow it to compound over time. Lesson 4: Control your ego. Spending money to impress others is one of the fastest ways to stay poor. True wealth is quiet. The book makes a clear distinction between being rich and having wealth. Being rich is about current income and visible spending such as expensive cars or large houses, and it is easy to notice. Wealth, on the other hand, is what you don't see. It is the money that has not yet been spent, the luxury cars not purchased, the diamonds not worn, and the financial assets that have not yet been turned into visible possessions. If your goal is to gain respect and admiration from others, expensive possessions often fail to achieve that. According to the book, humility, kindness, and empathy bring far more genuine respect than horsepower or material objects ever can. Lesson 5: Financial freedom is the goal. The real goal of money is freedom. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. In Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, the highest form of wealth is described as being able to wake up every morning and say, "Today, I can do whatever I want," according to the author. The greatest material benefit money provides and its highest return is the ability to control your time. Even a small amount of wealth means you can take time off when you're sick people without worrying about your bank account. A bit more wealth allows you to wait for a better opportunity instead of taking the first job you find after losing one. This level of independence and autonomy is the most valuable intrinsic benefit money can offer. Although people today are much wealthier than they were in the 1950s, they have less control over their time. This is largely because work has shifted from physical labor to mental labor. In the past, work ended when you left the factory, but with knowledge-based work, your main tool, your mind, is always with you, making it feel like you're working 24/7, which makes it harder to truly control your time. Luck and risk. Never underestimate the role of luck and risk. Not all success is skill, and not all failure is your fault. In the second chapter of Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money, luck and risk are described as twin siblings that resemble each other. According to the author, these two concepts reflect the reality that every outcome in life is influenced by forces beyond individual effort. Bill Gates' success is a result of both his genius and extraordinary work ethic. However, Housel emphasizes that Gates also benefited from a one-in-a-million stroke of luck. In 1968, he had the rare opportunity to attend Lakeside School, one of the few schools in the world at the time with access to a computer. Without this coincidence, the creation of Microsoft might never have happened. According to Housel, accepting luck and risk is difficult because attributing someone else's success to luck can come across as jealousy. Attributing your own success to luck can feel demotivating. We often explain others' failures as bad decisions because we don't know what they went through, while we justify our own failures by attributing them to risk. Wealth is hidden. Behavior matters more than intelligence. Time builds money, ego destroys it, and money's true value is freedom. What's your biggest money mistake? Comment below and follow my journey for more powerful ideas.